everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got a fun one, an interactive one for you, because I'm talking about the top 5 commanders built for maximum fun in interactivity. And of course, there's a card list link in the description below for them. Let's jump into it. First off, an oldie but a goodie, Tariel, Reckoner of Souls. Let's wreck some souls. Yeah, pretty metal, huh? A 4/7 angel for 7 mana in Mardu. Flying Vigilance, tap. Choose a creature card at random from target opponent's graveyard. Put that card on the battlefield under your control. So here's the thing about this one. You can interact with your opponents in a lot of different ways. You're incentivized heavily to do so with this commander. I mean, first of all, obviously, any kind of a, direct removal spell will do the trick for you. If you were like, oh yeah, I really want that creature. Okay, let's get into that opponent's graveyard. And if that's the only creature in the graveyard, that is exactly what you are getting with this one. Or, milling. Obviously, some wraths can help you out as well, edict effects, etc. Or even some direct tutoring of creatures out of libraries into their opponent's graveyards. Yeah, those things exist too. A lot of different fun ways to interact. Yeah, this is an expensive commander mana-wise, 7 mana in total, but you've got plenty of ways to ramp there, plenty of ways to get there, and then plenty of ways to utilize that mana to wreck your opponent's creatures and make them your own. And of course, untap effects can be great as well, too. Well, do it again, and again, and again. Speaking of untapping, next up, Beledros Witherbloom, yet another 7 mana commander. Yeah, we're going to start away from the top and work our way to the bottom. And here we go, a 4/4 Elder Dragon for that 7 mana in Golgari. Flying at the beginning of each upkeep, make a 1/1 pest. When it dies, you gain a life. Pay 10 life, untap every single land you control. Activate only once each turn. Here's the thing about this one. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. This is a commander, again, that has that built-in creature generation, which is nice. So it can build that board for you. Can also kind of pad your life total in a way, but also allows you to, on a dime, just stop and say, you know what? I need some mana for some interaction right now. You can go, all right, on an opponent's turn, pay 10 life, untap all those lands, and then utilize whatever spells you need. So yeah, you can even do a control-type strategy if you want with this one. At least, very least, an interactive type strategy. We're like, okay, either have activated abilities that I can utilize on that turn that might require some mana, or again, some instants, being able to essentially, again, react when you need to at flash speed. It's quite fun. Moving on, a commander that is so much fun and definitely can be so interactive and can be played in so many different ways. Nethroi, Apex of Death. A 5/5 Cat Nightmare Beast for 5 mana in Abzan. It's got Mutate, though, for 7 mana in Abzan. Death Touch lifelink. Whenever this creature mutates, return any number of target creature card with total power 10 or less in your graveyard to the battlefield. This one, you can build it in so many interesting and unique ways, but yeah, building a lot of low power to no power creatures can be so much fun. Having all those creatures in your graveyard and then going, all right, let's bring them back out. You can utilize a lot of different types of creatures that otherwise don't see the light of day again because of their low power. But again, have a lot of other pieces of utility that can just really interact with your opponents and utilize them in so many fun and different, interesting, unique ways. And of course, you can then maybe sacrifice them, get a lot of triggers off of that, maybe aristocrat style some things, and then bring them back again with this. It is such a blast. Check it out. Going about creatures in a different way, though, and again, a lot of interactive creatures, just potential with this one. Karametra, God of Harvest, a 6/7 god for 5 mana in Selesnya. It's indestructible. As long as your devotion to green and white is less than 7, Karametra isn't a creature. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may search life for a forest or plains card on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Here's the thing about this one, again. It handles something for you. It says, hey, you know what? Don't worry about ramp. I've got ramp for you, okay? I handle the ramp. You display creatures, I give you the ramp. So that gives you the opportunity to utilize, again, creatures that you might not otherwise utilize. Again, ones that are utility plays, lower to the ground creatures, ones that essentially can go, you know what? I can deal with some other things for you because the ramp is already dealt with. I don't have to worry about putting a lot of, again, rampant growth type cards in the deck because I already have a rampant growth type commander. So essentially, go heavy on creatures with a lot of utility, a lot of interaction, and have an absolute blast. This indestructible commander can also hit incredibly hard. Speaking of hitting hard, yeah, Gahiji, Honored One, is so much fun. A 4/4 beast for 5 mana in Naya. Whenever a creature attacks, one or more of your opponents or a planeswalker opponent controls, that creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Here's the thing about this one. Hey, opponents, look out, because everyone is heavily incentivized to attack everyone but me. Basically, this comes into play and says, hey, you know what? Let's supercharge all of the attacks, but not on me. So swing elsewhere. So you are, again, incentivized to play other cards that interact with your opponents, that maybe even make their armies even stronger against each other, that again heavily incentivize them to attack each other, maybe that even force attacks against each other, maybe that give opponents creatures. There's a lot of different avenues of interacting with your opponents, interacting with their creatures, and essentially saying, hey, you know what, everyone, let's have a blast attacking everyone but me. Everyone but me. Do not attack me, attack opponents, and we're going to be hitting them so hard. Moving on, one of my favorite commanders of all time, Phelddagrif. Again, a card that if you just initially were learning Magic and you look at this card like, why does anyone play this? It's so much fun, let me tell you. A 4/4, it's a Phelddagrif. It says Summon Legend, but it is a Phelddagrif for 4 mana in Bant. Pay a single white mana, it gets flying till end of turn, and opponent gains 2 life. Pay a blue mana, bounce it back to your hand, target opponent may draw a card. I'm actually really glad that it does say may, because, well, it'd be built just a little bit differently if it wasn't. Pay a green mana, it gets trampled till end of turn, and you give a hippo to an opponent, and it's a 1/1 hippo. So this is a commander where, again, yeah, if it didn't say may for the draw, I'd be like, okay, get infinite blue mana and you win, yay! Yeah, don't do that. That's not what we're doing with this one. What we're doing with this one is we are going, hey, you know what? I'm going to make some deals. I'm going to interact with my opponents. I'm going to give you some hippos, okay? Maybe even pad your life to a little bit if I need to. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to miscellaneously gain trample, it doesn't matter essentially, and just dump a bunch of hippos on the board and say, hey, let's make a deal. I'll give you hippos. You help me out. Okay, yeah, maybe swing with those hippos next turn at that other opponent. Okay, great. A lot of interaction, a lot of politicking, a lot of having a great time giving out hippos, and then at the very end of the game, stealing those hippos back and then swinging them at an opponent or winning in a variety of other fun ways. Speaking of fun, though, curses, yes, what is more fun than curses? Lynde, Cheerful Tormentor, super fun and super interactive commander, a 2/4 human warlock with Death Touch for 4 mana in Grixis. Whenever a curse is put in your graveyard from the battlefield, return to the battlefield, attached to you at the beginning of the next end step, beginning of your upkeep, you may attach a curse attached to you to one of your opponents. If you do, draw 2 cards. This is a commander that takes curses in a different direction. You're like, okay, curses are here to stay, and when they hit the graveyard, I get them back. So essentially, you are heavily incentivized to give out curses, and maybe even to deal with your own curses yourself, and then bring them back, and maybe have some, I don't know, constellation triggers, you know, enchantments coming to play triggers, eerie triggers, just being able to go, okay, yeah, lots of value for these enchantments coming back, and then granting them to opponents as well as you need to. It is such a fun strategy. Again, curses are an underplayed thing that I absolutely love, and they can add a really fun aspect to the game, especially one like this, where, again, you can take it in a really cool, unique direction where you're being cursed yourself, too. It's so much fun. Walls. Arcades the Strategist. Yeah, that is basically the name of the game. Walls. 3/5 Elder Dragon with Flying and Vigilance, 4 mana in Bant. Whenever a creature with Defender enters the battlefield under control, you draw a card. Each creature controlled Defender assigns combat damage equal to its toughness or its power. Can attack as though it didn't have Defender. Such a fun commander. A commander that says, you know what? I am really just completely fine with throwing in all the walls and Defender cards, essentially, into a deck because, well, I mean, I, again, am going to handle one of the most important aspects of Magic. I am going to be handling the card draw, right? I got that down for you. And by the way, you're going to be playing some insanely powerful creatures that, again, don't see play anywhere else, that have a good amount of utility. Again, walls are like, okay, I'm a good defender. Maybe I've got some other utility pieces as well, and I can interact. But also, yeah, I'm just like a 0/8 or whatever. But it's like, oh no, with this gunner, you're basically an 8/8. Yeah, for like 3 or 4 mana or whatever it is. It's like, okay, now go swing and hit that opponent for a lot. It is a commander, again, that lets you utilize some underutilized cards in Commander. And all of a sudden, you could have a very powerful army, and you can do a lot of cool things with it. Of course, I didn't even talk about, like, blink effects, too. Like, mass blink effects being, like, a mass draw spell for you as well, because it's an ETB that doesn't have a cast trigger requirement. So much fun. Next up, Xantcha, Sleeper Age, and a 5/5 Phyrexian minion for 3 mana in Rakdos. Enters the battlefield with a controller vote of your choice. Attacks each combat if able. It can't attack its owner planeswalkers its owner controls. By paying 3, its controller loses 2 life. You draw a card. any player may activate this ability. Again, this is just a ticking time bomb that you are throwing into play on an opponent's control, and then everyone else is laughing at them until the ticking time bomb moves because that player is taken out, and then another opponent is crying. This is such a fun commander where, again, it gives you just a new avenue of play. Again, it gives you a mana sink. Basically gives everyone a mana sink to go, sorry, I really need to draw a card at the cost of your life. I'm so sorry. My bad. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, I'm still going to do it, though, but I'm sorry. Yeah, being able to just go, okay, all right, let's maybe reduce that cost in a way with Hearthstone. Maybe being able to essentially just, generate a bunch of mana with some ritual effects, essentially. Maybe being able to just, I don't know, pump this and make it hit opponents even harder. There's a lot of avenues to victory with this type of a commander, and you can have so much fun with it. And just seeing the look on an opponent's face when you choose them right away is just priceless. Finally, though, Bunny Cop. Kwain, itinerant, meddler, such a fun commander. A 1/3 rabbit wizard for 2 mana in Azorius. Tap each player may draw a card. Then each player drew a card this way gains 1 life. Again, sometimes Wizards makes the right decision, in my opinion, by limiting a card in May. Makes sense, just like it did in Phelddagrif back in the day, too, on that card draw, because if not, it'd be like, okay, I infinitely tap and untap this commander, and I win the game. Yay! And that's like all the decks that would build around it would be. But because it is a May, it prevents you from going infinite with it, essentially, and saying, I mean, you can, like, draw your entire deck, sure, and I'm sure there's another combo you can get, obviously, but it's not the actual win condition itself in that way. With this one, though, you're essentially, again, wheeling and dealing, being like, hey, opponent, all right, I can see that you're in a little bit of a rut right now. I could help you out. Hey, could Bunny Cop help you out? If I tap and everyone gets to draw a card, what will you do for me? Okay, what will you do for me? And with all this card draw that you're having, and with all these untap effects that you're going to have as well, you can just have so much card advantage that you are able to, again, interact whenever you need to. Utilize all of the different plays that you need to. You can even throw in mana dorks in this deck and go, okay, yeah, mass untap effect, which untaps my commander, which also untaps my mana dork army. I tap them for mana, and I can utilize, again, whatever spells I need to on my opponent's turn. So interaction and fun, what's not to love? And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.